Hey guys, and welcome back. This 9 weeks we will be studying human body systems, and the first one we are going to cover is the nervous system. So here are your notes. It's the nervous system. You've been given a paper of notes, so make sure you fill in the diagrams and write any other important information from this PowerPoint on it. So the nervous system is a system that controls all of the activities of the body. The nervous system is made up of the brain, the nerves, the spinal cord, and your senses. So here are the basic tasks of the nervous system. Sensory input. Monitor both internal and external environments. Okay, so these are going to be things from your senses, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, or your touch, your fingers. Integration is the process the information and often integrate it with stored information. And then motor output, if necessary, signal effector organs to make the appropriate response. So an example of this would be if you put your hand on something hot. Okay, the sensory receptor would feel that it's hot, integration would happen, and it would tell your hands to move. The central nervous system here is your brain and your spinal cord. Your peripheral nervous system is everything that takes in the sensory input and puts out the motor output. So again, your nervous system is divided into two parts. Your central nervous system is your brain and your spinal cord, and your peripheral nervous system is all of your nerves and everything else. Your central nervous system controls all of your body's activity. Okay, it is the brain and the spinal cord. The human brain is a complex organ that allows us to think, move, feel, see, hear, taste, and smell. It controls our body, receives information, analyzes information, and stores information, or our memories. The brain produces electrical signals, which, together with chemical reaction, let the parts of the body communicate. Nerves send these signals throughout the body. Brain is an organ that controls your emotions, your thoughts, and every movement you make. The brain controls everything in the body. The brain is made up of more than 10 billion nerves, and the brain is divided into three parts and is protected by your skull. The three parts of the brain are the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. The cerebellum is the largest part of your brain. It controls your thinking, your memory, your speaking. It controls your movement and identifies the information gathered by your sense organs. The cerebellum is below and to the back of the cerebrum. It controls your balance and your posture. The brainstem connects the brain to the spinal cord. The nerves in the brainstem control your heartbeat, breathing, and blood pressure. So here's a lateral view of the brain. You have this in your handout, so make sure that you label it. So here we have the front lobe of the cerebrum, the parietal lobe, which is the middle lobe of your cerebrum, and the occipital lobe, which is the back lobe of your cerebrum. Your corpus callosum. Here's some glands. Here's the temporal lobe of your cerebrum. Here's your cerebellum, and then your brainstem is here. The spinal cord is a bundle of nerves that connects the brain to the other parts of the body. It is protected by a series of donut-shaped bones called vertebrae, which surround the spinal cord. The human spinal cord is about 43 to 45 centimeters long and is approximately as wide as a human finger. There are 13,500,000 neurons that transmit signals in the spinal cord. The cord weighs approximately 35 grams. The vertical column, or your bones that support it, is about 70 centimeters long and has 31 segments and 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Okay, so here is your spinal cord. You have the cerebric region, okay, which is where your glands are. You have the thoracic region, which is that middle part. Your lumbar is down here at the bottom, and then your sacral is at the very, very bottom. You can also see what is controlled by this part of the spinal cord. So the thoracic region controls your heart and your lungs and your stomach and your digestive system. The lumbar region is the bottom, your colon or your large intestines, your bladder, and then everything else down here controls your sweat glands and your hair follicles, and your cervic region is your glands in the upper part of your body. The vertebrae. The vertebrae are many bones that protect the nerves of the spinal cord. So again, we have the cervical nerve region, okay, which is the neck and the head, the diaphragm, the arms, and the hands. Your thoracic region, which is your chest muscles, your breathing, and your abdominal muscles. Your lumbar nerve region, which are your legs and your feet. And your sacral nerve region, which controls your bowel and your bladder control. Your nerve impulses are messages carried throughout the body by nerve cells called neurons. So there's some pictures of lots of little neurons. The anatomy of a neuron, you have the cell body, which is your functional portion, your dendrites, short extensions that receive signals, and your axons, which are large extensions that transmit impulses away. So here's one. Your nucleus, okay, is in part of your cell body. Your dendrites are these little short ones that stick off of your nucleus. And your axon is this long one with your axon terminals at the bottom. A synapse is a space between where nerve cells and nerve impulses transfer information to one another. Electrical impulses travel from one neuron to another across a tiny junction known as a synapse. Okay, so here's your sending neuron, and they're going to send this information to this receiving neuron. Okay, so here we have an axon, and we have the axon terminal, okay, and the synapse is right here, and it's going to transmit information over here. Okay, again, we have our nucleus, and we have our dendrites. Information comes through the dendrites, travels through the axon, and then we'll jump to the next set of dendrites. Okay, and here's another picture. So you get the information that comes through the axon, okay, and it's going to happen over this synapse to the receiving set of dendrites. Your peripheral nervous system is the outer nervous system that carries messages between the central nervous system and the rest of the body. The outer nervous system's job is to connect the central nervous system to the rest of the body. The outer nervous system is made up of nerves and sense organs. The peripheral nervous system controls the body's activities that you don't think about. The peripheral nervous system controls activities in your small intestine, your breathing, and your heartbeat. So make sure you have taken your notes and written everything down. You will have a quiz over the nervous system when this video is due on Friday. So make sure you have it done, and I will see you guys in class. Have a great evening.